Good morning. This week I'm doing my Friday video, actually on a Thursday, and I'm doing it from my home because I wanted to use the ashes in my fireplace as a descriptive and as a kind of like a show and tell for my talk this morning. We were talking at the office yesterday about how much bad news there is in the world. Right now, no reports of good things seem to ever be happening. There's lots going on that's just devastating, not only to groups of people, but also to individuals. And as a family law attorney, of course, I deal a lot with very sad people who are going through one of the worst things in their entire life. So I thought I would share my story and share how even in a divorce situation, good things can come from it, or even in bad situations, good things can come from it. Isaiah 61 talks about that the Lord will replace ashes with beauty. And whether you're a Christian or whether you're any other kind of religion, every religion and philosophy maintains that through an attitude, a change of attitude, meditation, peaceful thoughts, you can regain the beauty from whatever ashes that you had. Kevin is my other show and tell today. And we'll get to that in a minute. But my own personal story is that soon after I was in law school, I went to law school later, and my husband, Dirk, and I had been married for many years, and we had 3 kids. And he was diagnosed first with skin cancer, melanoma, that they told us, hey, no problem, this is going to be, kind of a one and done thing. We're going to remove it. Everything is going to be fine. And so we did that, went on with our life, and had just bought our house, which was going to be like, hey, this is where we're going to raise our kids, this is where we're going to be, and that cancer returned. And we then spent the next 18 months to 2 years really just chasing, from one surgery, one treatment, 1 week in the hospital, the next doctors, the next specialists, all the while trying to, both of us, work and maintain our kids and do all the things that you need to do, as a family, and to maintain that regularity. And the thing is that at one point in time, when I just didn't think I could handle it anymore, and I remember Dirk saying to me, you're going to go on, and I want you to go on because that's what you need to do, and that's where you need to be. And I remember saying to him, I can't talk to you about this. I was just so in the hole of where, in the middle of my ashes, that I could not think past that. And likewise, I have met many divorced people who at that time, in the middle of their ashes, they could not think of anything, any way their life could be better. But I can tell you the things I learned from sit down, cookie dog. The things I learned from being not only going through Dirk's illness with him, but also being a widow, was I learned a lot about myself. I learned I could manage a home, I could write checks for bills, I could budget, I could do all the grocery shopping, all the cleaning, and all the stuff all at once, and still raise 3 kids. I realized I could remodel the cottage that Dirk and I had in the way that I wanted to do. And it really taught me a lot about myself, and it really helped me to grow personally. And then a while later, I met my now husband, who was going through a divorce in his worst time of his life. And the Lord just really brought us together and really made beauty from those ashes, the ashes in his life as well as the ashes in mine. And we blended our families, and we have 7 really beautiful children, and just now, after 13 years, have become empty nesters for the first time in our married life. And just like me and my husband Mark, other clients that I have had have, in their deepest, darkest time in working with me, and their very sorrowful time, I've run into them years later, and they just tell me all the things they've learned from their divorce, all the things they learned about themselves, whether they're in another relationship or not. Many of those people come back and report to me that they have learned so much, and that from from their deepest and darkest sorrow, they really became whole people and really became their own individual that they really like. This is my other beauty from Asha's story. Kevin was at the Humane Society, and I went in, and he was probably the loudest and most rambunctious and worst behaving dog, but something just drew him to me. He's not the perfect dog that we've ever had, but he's just been a great pet. And so his Ashes in the middle of the Hamilton County Humane Society, when we came and picked him up and took him home, and he's been in our home for almost 8 years, I think now, and he's been a really good pet. It took some training, it took some time, and it took some adjustments, but always from ashes will come beauty. And that's what my hope is for you today. And that's what my words are for this season. There's so much negativity in the world. There's so much, and people like to feed on that negativity. And I would just encourage you today to really feed on the positive. Find one positive thing about yourself or about your situation, about your work, about your family, your children, your friends, and then focus on that and focus on really, really moving forward from the devastation that you're in, or the unhappiness that you're in, or the discontent that you're in, into something that's very positive. Thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.